Hello and welcome to another episode of MOPO, where we discuss matters of personal opinion. It's all MOPO. Today we're going to be doing episode 6 of season 3 of Gotham.
A mad city.
A mad city, yeah.
Which, I mean, unless things get, really crazy in the next couple episodes, I mean, the city itself isn't. It's there's still, normal, everyday goings on in the city. It's not like there's riots every day and, nobody knows, the Penguin is an evil dude. You normal everyday people just think he's, the mayor who saved the city and don't know that he's, this nefarious, kingpin of the underworld.
Yeah, because I would say the maddest the city was at the very beginning when all the quote-unquote monsters were loose. And that was about as mad as it was this season.
So we'll see where they're going with this whole mad city thing, but...
Yeah, they seem to just be kind of throwing these titles out there.
Yeah, all willy-nilly.
But, I mean, it is... How many episodes are supposed to be?
I don't know. I mean, I honestly, I don't know.
You think we're going to be taking a break?
They kind of did that last season. I would hope not. But if...
Because I feel we're right at that spot.
I mean, they are. I mean, we're not quite caught up. But
Yeah. Well, currently for us, we're at that spot, but not as far as where we are with these reviews.
Right. Currently, I mean, if they're going to take a break, it's going to be the next episode, I think.
Yeah, because I think it's 20 episodes or something a season.
It's hard to say with, seasons nowadays. It's
Could
not
be anything,
it used to be,
Who knows what model they're following?
Yeah, in the 60s, they did 45, 50 episodes in the season.
But they were also year-round.
Yeah, and, in the 90s, they did, 30, 26, 30.
And those were still year-rounds. It would be... What was it? It was usually
They still did fall and, summer things. Full House wasn't...
Yeah, but the summer, there was no new stuff. I remember as a kid, the summers were
fall.
Reruns.
Yeah, it'd only be fall.
It was
September,
fall to spring was
the
new episodes, and then summer was just get caught up on all the nonsense. Or that's when they would have road rules and shit.
Right.
It's nobody's
But yeah,
watching that.
the TV, the way they do TV shows nowadays has really changed. But that's MOPO.
Yeah. So this episode, we start off with a wedding, and, there's a couple getting married, and they get into the limo, and it's all hunky-dory. They're, oh, I love you too. And
the man's trying to fuck in the car and whatnot.
Yeah, right? I mean, check it off the list.
Right.
And the chauffeur ends up being Tetch, the Mad Hatter. So... he essentially kidnaps them, locks them in and gives them the whole, oh, don't hurt us. And he's like, oh, that's up to James Gordon.
I'm not going to hurt you.
Bullshit, he ain't going to hurt him.
Right.
He's
a real twisted dude.
Psychopaths are so crazy when they're like, oh, I'm going to get you to do it, even though I built the machine that's going to kill them at this particular time. You murdered them because
I forced
you
them
didn't
to do it, but you didn't save them, so you murdered them.
It's a twisted mindset, but that's essentially what's going on here. And as right before they break away from that shot, there's a kid.
There's a kid in the side seat.
I'm who the hell's this kid?
And I'm thinking he's one of the, circus people or something. I wound up being wrong on that.
Oh, way wrong. Yeah, because, from there we kind of jump to James Gordon and Valerie Vale in the diner, and they're kind of,
schmoozing.
They're kind of, they're joking back and forth between the fact that they're business associates as far as she's a reporter and he's a PI, and the fact that they're acquaintances because they're both friends, and then nonchalantly the fact that they've been screwing.
Yeah. And I noticed something about Valerie Vale that should have been apparent before, but it's really put out there that this chick is a reporter in life.
Oh,
no matter
that's
what
her
she's
job.
doing, she's trying to get a story. Even I think she has feelings for Gordon, for sure. I mean, the girls just don't. She could get what she wanted out of Gordon without him fucking her. but she's fucking him anyway.
Well, there goes that.
So
I was like, well, because I was like, oh man, maybe we could. How long can we go without cussing? And I purposely said, screw it or whatever.
Making whoopee.
Yeah, right.
But
yeah, so yeah,
and like, but
she chooses to stay with him.
Still like, oh, but you're gonna help me out, get me an interview with your ex-girlfriend, because I know we're screwing and whatnot, but that's not gonna be awkward for you at all. And even if it is, oh well, because I'm letting you hit this, so you're gonna go ahead and do that for me.
I agree that she can get the information without screwing him, but I feel like she's screwing him to keep him
super happy,
to keep him tagged along real close, like on a short leash. So when she comes up with this nonsense where it's like, let me interview your ex-girlfriend, it's not like, oh, well, I haven't talked to you in a week. Why would I care about getting you an interview? It's, oh, well, you've been giving it to me every night.
I just think because she alludes to that later on when she's talking to the district, not the district attorney, but either the other police officer or whatever, because she's like, oh, I can't do that. I have a dinner arrangement. It's not a date. And he's all like, I don't care if it's a date. She's like, yeah, uh-huh. But when she's talking to that guy, Gordon pops up or whatever, and she's all like, look, I could have done whatever I wanted with him, but I didn't need to.
Oh,
and
that was like made apparent?
Yeah, like, she's that kind of girl that, like, she's hot enough, she can get what she wants from you.
So it's like, so there's something genuine there if she's actually choosing to be with him.
Right, she doesn't have to, but she is anyway. So,
but
there's that dynamic going on.
Yeah, so she ends up leaving, give me the interview with your ex, leaves the diner. This pale as pale,
ugly,
I mean, basically, White Rabbit.
Yeah, White Rabbit, for sure.
That's essentially, that's exactly what he is. He's the White Rabbit, coming to James Gordon, invite him to...
tea party.
Well, takes him on
eventually.
Takes him down the rabbit hole first, essentially. Come to this random intersection. Come to this payphone. The kids might not know what that is. It was a phone that was connected to the ground.
They used to have telephones on the corner.
I miss payphones.
I always thought they were just a place for some chick to get raped or somebody to poop in.
Not a phone booth. A payphone.
Superman. So.
A payphone, man. Like, just a payphone, not a phone booth. But anyway, yeah, so he's on this payphone, and Tetch is on the other line, and he's like, you got a choice. Look above you. There's this couple, just married this morning. They're going to jump to their death, because he hypnotized them.
Right, yeah. They get out of this limo, and they're, like, smiling, walking towards their death.
Yeah. So he's like, you can take the stairs up and save them, or...
You can say this little kid is about to get run over by a truck.
Yeah, so
normal human being would go save the child. I think that's 9.9 out of 10 times you're going to save that kid.
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking, save the couple... because they can make another kid, and then you're also saving two people versus saving one person.
I don't know, man. I think that child didn't get a chance to live yet. These people have at least had a little bit of time to live. I don't know. But it kind of, I think Tetch knew he would go save the kid. Or whatever, because he said, oh, what do you have again? After he doesn't, well, let's put that out there. He goes and saves the kid.
Yeah, he definitely goes and saves the kid. Real messed up.
Yeah, because you just see these people, they just head first dive, and then you see their splattered bodies on the ground or whatever. But Tetch even calls him out and said, what do you have against married couples?
So what, was Gordon, from a broken home?
I don't know. It's just, all of his relationships are failed.
Okay. So what do you have against couples in general?
Because, he was going to marry Barbara, and she broke it off, and he's going to marry, what's-her-face, Leslie, Lee, whatever you want to call her, and he broke that off. So it's like...
Well, he didn't really have a choice. He was ready to do it, but then all that nonsense...
He could have made it work.
I mean, he was risking her life trying to make it work.
It's tough, but he could have made it work. But, yeah, so, like... And basically, the Mad Hatter has him on the phone, like, oh, you killed those people. Like, actually... And, like, Gordon's buying into it. No, dude, you didn't kill those people. Tetch killed those damn people.
Yeah, he hypnotized them. He brought them to that roof.
The little kid's lucky you saved the little kid.
Yeah, right? The little kid was just staring there like a zombie, like, ooh.
So, like, the police know that, like, Gordon has something to do with all this going on. But they also, at the same time, make the connection that Tetch is messing with him. So
yeah, because when they're at the scene of the accident, they find the White Rabbit still standing on the corner. I got a message for you, James Gordon. And they take him in. Yeah, so that now they know it's Tetch. And they bring him in.
And they're following Gordon now, too. So, like, Gordon, unbeknownst to...
Well, they're not... before we get to that, like, when the captain is interviewing the White Rabbit...
Oh, yeah, he, like, kind of skitzes out a little bit, like, kind of proving that, like, he is affected by that blood.
Yeah.
And he's got the super strength, at least.
But it only seems to be happening when he's getting enraged.
Or, like, just moments agitated. Of, like, pressure.
Yeah, because he was seriously freaking out at that guy, like... he's
just like, me what I want to know, and like grabs the chair and leaves like fingerprints in. I'm like, well, that could just be a weak chair, though.
Yeah, he's like, that chair is made of hollow aluminum. But yeah, so like you were saying, so now they're on the hunt for both James Gordon and Tetch because they're like, all right, well, James Gordon's involved. Why isn't he answering? Is he up to... Because even with, Gordon proving himself and coming back into the light, even though he's not a cop anymore, I still feel like there's in the back of the captain's mind, this guy was up to no good before.
Gordon's shady.
Yeah. So why, is he up to no good again? Yeah, he had a clean streak for a while, but then he relapsed.
And slowly, I think he is building back that trust with the captain.
Oh, yeah. Especially after this episode, yeah. Because what happens is, while they're talking to the White Rabbit kid,
the next
Gordon goes to this hotel room or apartment room and sees all these images of his dad.
Yeah. The next part of Tetch's plan is, okay, I'm going to get Gordon in this room and show him, that I know all about his life, and basically I'm going to kidnap Vale.
Yeah, in front of him, because he's got a telescope set up.
So, like, he kidnaps Vale, and, like, Gordon is starting to, like, piece this together himself now, too. And he's starting to mess with the Mad Hatter.
Absolutely.
And the Mad Hatter is not... It's so funny. The Mad Hatter is like a psycho chick. Like...
Yeah, right? Dialed him right back, because he hung up on him.
Like, Gordon bangs on, like, 2-3 times, and each time you just see his face, he's like... And he's getting redialed on the cell phone. Like, it's comical, honestly. But, just
and he's, like, doing his little rhymes. He's like...
Yeah, it's like, dude, are you the Riddler, or are you the damn Mad Hatter?
Okay, because later on, where are we on this? What was it? Yeah, because what was it? He tries to get him to kill by...
Well, yeah, because after he kidnaps Vale, he gets... Like, Gordon is trying to figure out how he knows all this shit, and he goes and confronts Barbara, and that's where he kind of puts together, damn, he's going after Lee, too. So the Mad Hatter has Lee and Vale together... and representing those two, he also kidnaps a lawyer and a doctor, a journalist and a doctor.
Yeah.
To represent those two, and he
got them rigged to electric chairs, hoisted high up into the rafters of this warehouse, and basically, like, and that's what I was saying, where it reminded me of the Riddler, because playing the Batman video games... Every time you encounter the Riddler, he's got all these TVs set up, and he's talking to you through the TVs and all. And that's exactly what Tetch is doing. I was like, this is a Riddler move right here.
He's definitely doing like a Riddler move, and maybe that's like maybe Nygma is somehow like later on inspired by the Mad Hatter or whatever.
You think?
Like, I don't know.
I don't know. That would be disappointing, but yeah, it was, or maybe everybody's got the same parlor tricks. You know, everybody's idea of a menacing villain is the same. They're just like, hey, you just put yourself on a whole bunch of TVs clustered together.
And talking rhymes and riddles.
And that was killing me too, because even though they were nursery rhyme style rhymes and not riddles,
yeah,
I'm just like, dude,
still, like you stole it.
He stole it.
But he basically has these two guys set up like, Gordon, you're going to kill one of these two.
Or both of them are getting electrocuted.
Kill both of them. And that's when the police roll up on it. And that's when everybody starts coming together on all this. And he basically, the Mad Hatter's like, all right, you don't want to decide? And he kills both of them dudes in front of everybody.
But it's funny, because when the captain and all the other, and Bullock and all the other police run in, Tetch is like, oh, Captain, you're just in time. Gordon's gonna kill one of these guys.
Yeah.
And then the captain is almost like half ready to pull his gun. Yeah, like, what do you mean you're gonna kill one of these guys? Like, come on, Captain. Gordon's a good dude. Yeah. Calm it down. Pull it back.
It's Gotham. Like, everybody's corrupted a little bit, but Gordon's at least trying.
Gordon's on his radar. Like Bullock's made such a turnaround that Gordon's your only bad cop anymore.
Exactly. Nobody else is a bad cop.
It's just Gordon Gotham. Apparently. Yeah.
He came in and turned the whole precinct around, but
he's the bad guy.
He's a bad guy. But even kind of that little moment there, he's like, look, the captain's like, look, we're gonna find him. Her basically told me, I don't think he gives two shits about Vale, but everybody knows Tompkins, and they probably want to see her alive.
Yeah, and so he's given the, like, I don't want to say riddle, but he's given the clue.
He is.
Where it's
find the old friend.
Find the old friend
to get to the end.
Exactly, and it ends up being the White Rabbit guy.
The White Rabbit dude.
So he asks him. And he starts, like, shaking his hand, and he's just like...
It's like he wants to write.
Well, no, yeah, I know, but he's basically shaking his hand, and then he's just like, oh, he wants to write. Puts a pen in his hand, and he starts scribbling, and he scribbles a damn nursery rhyme about where to go, and it ends up being back to... Leslie's house, Lee's house. And as he's running out, he's being all shady about it, not telling anybody... And as he's running out, he runs into the Falcone kid.
Oh, Mario, the doctor, Leslie's
and Mario's basically like, I'm going to beat the crap out of you because I know you know.
Yeah, you know something because you're rushing on out of here, and I'm being all loud and drawling.
Which is funny because Gordon says, shut your mouth, I don't want anybody hearing. But the second he said that, he starts wilding out at large volume about how he's going to go save him. Right. And I'm like, dude, take some of your own advice.
So they go, and I actually miss where Mario comes in and all that.
Well, they don't really tell you
until afterwards.
Well, no, they don't tell you the plan or anything. It's what happens is Gordon comes into the. Well, first it shows Leslie and Vale
having like girl time.
They're having girl talk or whatever, and like this is more where you get the clue that Vale is a reporter through and through, because she's in this situation and she's still like, so how about that Alice blood? And Lee's like, are you fucking kidding me?
They're facing certain death,
and she's like, let me get that scoop.
She's like, I'm about to die again, but just in case I live, let me get this story.
So they end up picking one of the shackles, which is funny because Vale knows how to pick a lock, is right next to Lee, but
won't do it for her.
Audibly helps her through it.
Yeah, because she wants to get that story.
Like you're gonna trade favors like that. Like I could tell you for this information. I could show you for this information. I could do it for you for this information.
Right. So you don't want to give me that information, so do it yourself, sister.
But she ends up getting it. The pick breaks when Vale's trying to do hers, but by that point they're brought out to the tea party.
They're brought out anyway.
Gordon arrives. Basically, you got Tweedledee and Tweedledum, assumedly.
Until we know any better, that's Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Assumedly, because I'm pretty sure they're the two brothers, two of the remaining brothers from the circus people.
Just now they are not in the circus anymore.
Yeah, because why would they be?
They're pseudo 1920s like outfits on, even though this is supposed to be present day. But everybody,
I like the 20s outfits.
Dresses like it's like the 1920s and shit.
Super fly, cat.
But but I still got my cell phone, so it always confused me about like their timeline and like their little like universe.
Well, a lot of movies do that though, and shows do that.
Nobody has it where they like perpetrate in like they're in the 50s or something.
What was it?
And still got cell phones.
Dark City. No, not Dark City. What was it? It was
no movie from the 1990s.
No, it was a movie from like the late 90s, early 2000s. I think it was called Dark City. And it took place in the 1920s, 1940s, old school style like that, but all this steampunk technology.
This ain't steampunk technology.
I'm not just saying there was technology that wasn't from that time.
This ain't steampunk.
Listen.
They're busting out cell phones.
Listen.
They ain't steampunking no.
You made me forget my other example.
It was a stretch. But anyway.
So
Gordon
so Gordon's distracting him. He gets Tetch in a tizzy, like to a point where Tetch is almost about to blow Gordon's brains out instead, and you get like I felt like Gordon was hypnotizing Tetch for once,
right?
Staring him down right in the eyes, like that's right, I killed your sister, kill me, and it's just like let them go, let Lee and Vale go, and then that's when he's like, Lee and Vale, who's Lee and Vale? Oh yeah, Lee and Vale. Oh, I'm here to kill one of them, you asshole. You thought you had me, and I was like, ooh.
You said too much, stupid.
But then, you have. Meanwhile, you have Mario Falcone. He sneaks in the basement door.
Okay.
And he kind of like, all right, this guy's supposed to be sneaking around. He throws his keys and his jacket pretty heavy and loud onto the table in the basement. It was like boom. I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be quiet. And he's like ripping open drawers trying to find that gun. Like, and I'm like, dude, like. Let's be a little less obvious here.
Yeah, let's be a little bit inconspicuous.
Your wife-to-be is upstairs, could die. And he pulls a gun out, goes upstairs, basically gets the jump on Tetch, but Tetch was smart and somehow knew there was a gun in the basement and switched the clip out for blanks. Or switched the clip out for nothing in it. Because he does pull the trigger and nothing happens. So then they shackle him up in the bathroom. And then Tetch is like, all right, if you don't want to tell me who you love, because he wants to kill who Gordon loves. Yeah. So he's like, if you won't tell me who you love, then tell me who to kill. And he says, kill Lee. And then he's like, okay, kill Lee. So then you love Vale. So I'm gonna kill Vale. But I think Gordon's smarter than that. And he actually loves Lee, and he pulled a what do they call that? A reverse psychology on him.
Right.
But it's messed up because then Vale ended up with a gunshot straight to the stomach, and that thing bled quick.
Well, you easily die from a gunshot to the gut. It's like it's 50-50, literally.
Oh, I was going to say probably like 80-20.
No, it's 50-50. Like, you're either going to die or you're going to live. There is no...
Maybe.
Yeah, like, there is no maybe.
Oh, it's like you're obviously going to live or you're obviously going to die.
Yeah,
okay.
Like, stomach shots are like that. Because, like, you get hit on the side... You're good, but you get hit in the middle.
just stab me on the side. You stuck me too deep, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You're all woozy and shit. If you're a fan of Scream, that first movie was awesome.
First one was good.
I don't know. We could talk another time about the other ones.
Check it out. Future episode of MOPO.
That's our Po. Yeah. So. No bullets, so the ambush kind of fails, but, Tetch gets away, Mario takes Vale into surgery, and he's like, I got it, Gordon,
Which makes me think she's going to pull it out.
I think so, too, and I think she's going to pull through specifically because... Right after that, while she's still in surgery, Gordon's all like, Lee, I want to talk to you about what happened. And Lee's like, no. not right now, we're not.
This is
not the time nor the place. So it's kind of like, to make that situation even more awkward, she has to pull through. Because now, not only because now Vale and Gordon have weird chemistry, because it's like, was it a reverse psychology, or does he really love me? So did I really take a bullet for a good reason?
Right.
Or, now the weird chemistry between Lee and Gordon, where it's like, oh, well, now we both know that we love each other because Tetch actually was pressing on Lee and basically was like, oh, it's obvious she still loves you.
Right. That's kind of where the episode ends.
Yeah, it ends with them kind of fading out, and it was a long pan out.
I think they did a long pan out to try to add to the suspense. Oh, is she gonna make it?
Oh, I thought it was
next
to
week
add
on
to
Gotham. Will Vale make it, or will she die?
Tune in next time
on the old Batman.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Which also reminds me, I almost wish, you remember the Batman animated series, the I wish they would do that when they left and then it came back from
from commercials. That'd be so crazy.
But while all this is going on, we still have this Oswald Cobblepot as the mayor, and Edward Nygma as his chief of staff.
Yeah.
What's going on with all this, and he just comes out and says that he loves Edward Nygma.
But it's to himself, right?
Well, no. At the very beginning, he's talking to the old Russian.
Oh, that's right. He's talking to the
He's
the
like,
housekeeper.
I found true love, but what's one-sided love? Which, fella, I don't know if anybody else has experienced that, but one-sided love sucks.
Yep.
When you think you love somebody and they don't feel the same way about you, that is not a good feeling.
That's Ruffingtons.
Yeah. So, you kind of feel for him or whatever, and basically we go through this whole episode of, he's going, Cobblepot's going through his day, and he's sitting there, he tries to tell Edward, 4 or 5 times throughout this episode that he loves him, but he can't spit it out. And even at the very end, he's like, okay, they go to this school, and Penguin kind of helps out this loner kid, gets him to go play with the other kids. And Nygma's all Nygma is egging this on the whole time.
You always surprise me. You never cease to amaze.
I'm in such awe of you, or whatever. And I don't think he realizes what he's doing, because I don't think he realizes how the Penguin really feels about him.
Yeah, I think Edward sees him as a good, true friend and mentor.
A mentor. For sure.
And Oswald sees him as
somebody
a partner and companion.
Yeah.
And they are similar, but they are not the same
thing at all. And even at the end, when you think he works up the gumption, he's like, okay, after he helps the kid, he's like, okay, there's something I need to talk to you about in a more private setting. We'll have dinner tonight at the mansion.
And then Edward goes, I'll bring some wine.
Right.
Which is kind of if we are not romantic, you bring beer.
Yeah, this is a dude.
Or you bring Coke Zero in fancy glasses.
But, so you get to this dinner where it's just Oswald there, and he comes out and says, what he needs to say, but of course the chair's empty on the other side.
He's basically still working up the courage. He's still practicing.
Everybody does. I'm sure, I've done that plenty of times, in the mirror or, whatever. Sometimes you got to work up that gumption.
Yeah. Now, before we get to...
I feel like I might have skipped over some of that.
Essentially, you caught everything. Definitely, blazed through it pretty quick. But there was just one... And it's not even a point. It's more just kind of for me, it was funny. When, towards the beginning of that whole scenario, when he's going through the different agendas Where Edward's like, okay, mail this to, whatever committee, and, put a smile on your face. And then, real carefully, he picks up, like, this box with a giant fuse sticking out of it, and he's just like, and leave this on, what was the guy's name?
He's called him Nicky the Nail. He's like, put this in front of Nicky the Nail's door.
Knock twice, light it, run.
Then run.
And it's just like, wow, right? It was just funny.
And you sent some lady to do that?
She's okay. She's like, oh, goodness, all right. And then when Oswald comes in and Edward gives them 2 itineraries. He's like, here's your managerial itinerary of all your appointments today, and here's your King of the Underworld Penguin itinerary, or itinerary with all your,
your daily
nefarious underdealings. And I just thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, because Nygma is good at his job, man. Like, he knows what he's doing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And also, I forgot to mention, Tabitha has Butchie hidden somewhere. And that's kind of like a point of stress. Not necessarily stress, but it's getting towards that for her and Barbara. Because Barbara's kind of like sideways on her neck, hating on that, like, oh, what do you think Penguin's going to do when he finds out you're helping Butchie?
So Barbara's just like a really loyal villain working under Penguin.
Both of them are. Like, they both basically work for Penguin.
Well, yeah, but I mean, she's clearly more loyal than Tabitha is.
Yeah, because Tabitha has
even though they're both
agendas.
not telling Penguin, Barbara seems to be dealing with it more negatively than Tabitha is.
Because she's jealous of Butchie.
What, because she really likes Tabitha?
Well, not if not sexually, like, that's my friend, you're still like if I were married and me and you hung out every day 24/7, my wife would be like, oh, what's Bob got that I don't got, kind of deal, or what's Joe got that I don't got, or what's Chuck got that I don't got, but basically, so what's Butchie got that I don't got. I think more along that kind of line.
Okay, that's fair. And then, and I kind of missed that with the whole high. Like, I caught it audibly, but I missed it visually. The end for the, because like we said, the episode ends with Vale still in surgery and Lee and Gordon sitting outside. But the Edward Oswald thing ends right after Oswald kind of does his practice speech in front of the empty chair.
And then it pans to Nygma.
And he's at a distillery or something. He's buying bottles of wine.
He's still buying that bottle of wine. And
this white-haired girl peeks over and is like, oh, tough selection. And, Nygma's Nygma, so he's like, oh, not really, it just has to do with, year and, or it has to do with vintage and the grapes and season, and it's just like, that clearly sounds difficult, but not to him.
Yeah.
And he turns and he's like, Miss Kringle? Dude, and this girl is a dead look-alike.
It's probably the same actress.
It's likely exactly the same actress.
Her out.
Dude, like, whited her out.
Yeah.
That hair was white. And she's like, oh no, sorry, I didn't mean to bother you. And he's like, no, you can bother me all you want. Like, I just thought you were somebody else.
Right.
And she kind of comes closer, and wouldn't you know, dude, she gives a riddle to the fucking Riddler.
Yeah.
And he answers it immediately. I forget what the riddle was, and it's a simple riddle, too. It was only like 2 lines, but I forget what it is. And he's just like, time.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, oh, shit. Because could you imagine if Nygma just held out a little longer instead of being a psycho and killing Miss Kringle? He could have got a drop-dead look-alike for Kringle and into the same shit that he's in.
Yep.
But, I mean, one would argue that he necessarily wouldn't be in that place at the same time if he didn't do what he did. he wouldn't have the stature that he has now.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason.
But I thought that was really wild. I was like, wow, man, he finds true love. Oswald's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, she's dead.
Yeah, right. Immediate. Oh, that could be what drives them apart.
Yeah.
What if Penguin does end up getting so jealous that he kills her, and she goes missing, and then Nygma's not an idiot.
Yeah.
He finds out that Penguin actually did it, and now they're at a horrible feud where Penguin's far too powerful to take on alone. Because I feel like even though Nygma has some power here and there, it's kind of backed by the Penguin. Yeah. It's not his own power. Like when he managed to turn Zsasz... Well, actually, he didn't even turn Zsasz on the Penguin because he just used Zsasz as one of...
Chucky.
Against Butchie.
Yeah, Chucky.
Why do you... Stop calling him E. It's just Butch.
Yeah, I guess it's just Butch.
Because you keep
calling him Butchie, and that makes you want to call him Chucky.
Yeah, that makes you want to call him Chucky.
That's his name.
He's not 3 foot tall with a knife.
He's like the opposite Chucky, or the Bizarro Chucky.
Yeah, right? Wario Chucky.
Chucky-o.
But yeah, so that's where that episode ends.
Yeah, so
I'm really interested to see where this goes. Where are you, like, what part of this episode, like, what storyline has caught your interest? I mean, I feel like there's 2 cliffhangers.
Yeah.
There's a cliffhanger of, do you care if Vale makes it? And what's going to happen between Lee and Gordon? And then there's the cliffhanger of what's going to happen between Oswald and Nygma now that Nygma's found, essentially, I'm going to make the leap of faith here, his true love.
Well, a love interest.
A love interest more substantial than any other he's come across.
Right. But we have no idea where that's going to go.
Yeah, dead in the river.
Yeah. I mean, once Oswald finds out or whatever, it's going to be problems for her.
Either that or he's just going to play, the self-destructive jealous type where he just destroys the friendship between them.
Yeah, like, oh, he doesn't really care about me.
Yeah, and then he kind of goes, like, loner, solo, raging.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's all, MOPO. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, leave a comment in the comments section as designated.
Yeah, like, share, and subscribe.
Thanks for listening.